boxy beginnings. Now you can create and design modular homes that run the gamut from modest houses to, dare we say, mansions. And as our Greg Clarkin reports in this week's Developments to Watch, these new designer modulars are sprouting up in some of the wealthiest pockets of the country.
When Kathy and Rob Carangelo decided to build a new house, a modular wasn't even part of the discussion until Kathy came across ads and articles showing the new wave of upscale modulars.
We saw some high-end modulars and realized, they're not really as bad as you think. When you think modular, you think a boxy house, no windows on the side of the house. And when you saw some nice ones, we really, considered it.
The Carangelos did more than consider it. They built this multi-million-dollar, 4,000 square foot plus modular in Greenwich, Connecticut, counted as part of a boom in the business. Modulars account for just 2% of all new homes built nationally, but in some areas that are densely populated with a high rate of teardowns, that number rises. A decade ago, just 26,000 modulars were built nationwide. That was up to 32,000 by 2001 and topped 43,000 last year. The cooling housing market this year is expected to cause a dip in sales. And forget the old image of double wides rolling into town. Today's modulars can be molded into almost any style of house.
There's been more and more examples of better architecture that's been produced both by the factories and by the few architectural firms that have participated in the industry. I think it's given some confidence now to the public that the results can be quite a bit better than what people are used to seeing.
This sprawling Connecticut home is a modular being put together, but you would have to look for signs of it to know the difference. The walls are wider where they meet, and there's usually an extra stair needed to accommodate the floors being placed on top of each other. Besides looks, modulars can be cheaper to build, much cheaper depending on location. Modular houses have become increasingly popular here in the Northeast where labor costs are high. Home builders say they can put together a modular house built elsewhere and shipped here for as much as 25% less than the cost of a traditional stick-built house. And there's time saved as well. Builders say in some cases they can turn a modular around in 6 months.
When you place the order, they can build a house in 3 months. And in that 3 months, we're preparing the lot, putting in the concrete, all the preparations, and we're ready for that house to come and be set at the end of that 3 months. It typically takes us 3 months from there.
If you're considering a modular home, Kathy Carangelo says one valuable lesson she learned was preparation is key.
If you are just deciding to do modular, to be ready, have your ideas in mind, and the process will move along much faster. Knowing where you want things, if you want a front porch, if you want a terrace off the back, have that all set before and look on a lot of websites and read a lot of magazines.
Modular designers say having your plans all set beforehand can shave even more time off the process, a process that's making what were once considered downscale homes into upscale showpieces. Greg Clarkin, BusinessWeek Weekend, Greenwich, Connecticut.
Now, besides the New York City area, upscale modulars have also become popular in parts of the Midwest, as well as in Washington, D.C., and points south along the Atlantic coast. Really, anywhere that is densely populated has a lot of teardowns and has a shorter building season. These conditions appeal to modular homes.